can cook for you. I can clean for you. I can raise your kids. I can tell you how so much soul comes from me. That's the reason why you taste it in my food. But you can't vote for me. I can't lead you, but yet I can guide you, but you can't vote for me. I can tell you how to fast and flash, and you can be the next thing like me. Everybody says you like me, but you ain't nothing like me. But yet and still, you get your clothing, your children get the understanding, they get the slang and the lane, but you can't even vote for me. But I can cry out tears for the bad boys that lay down on the streets. I can tell you how to raise your kids right, and I can tell you how to have a fight, because you ain't got no fight like I got. But you can't vote for me. I can walk into a room, be the biggest thing there without even having to talk. I can tell you how to get your mind together without even having to give you a real thought. I can lay process on you so you can process your own. I can lead you. I can guide you. But I can't run a country for you. And yet you wonder why you're living in destruction. Wonder why our kids are not eating. Why is it that every time I turn around, the food gets higher, but yet the goods get lower? I can't understand how you can't let a woman run it. But you can let me tell you what to do. Help me understand how I can tell you what to do. I can give you guidance. I can lead you, but you can't even vote for me for your freedom mentally. I'm more than just something for you to understand. I am present, and I'm trying to help you have a present so your future can be everlasting. But you rather be in the dark because you believe what propaganda want to tell you, because you rather listen to the TV than open a book. And help me understand why black women are the most educated on this planet. But you won't vote for me. Help me understand how black women lead the most in jobs, but you won't vote for me. Black women lead as single mothers, having every time they have to break their backs when their child says that they need something, even though they don't have anything left to give. But yet and still, we give until we can't. You take until you take. You take until you can't take anymore, and then you tell me to pray. You give me God instead of giving me protection. How come every time that I have to walk around, I got to walk around just to make sure I'm safe? I got to take a double take because every time I walk around, I can't feel safe. I can't be protected because black men want to hate me because I don't want to tolerate their BS and their foolery. But yet and still, you want me to save you, but you won't even let me because you won't even vote for me.
God.
Well, thank you for being here tonight, all the people. Excuse me. So, hello, Juicy Jones and James and Connor Patrick, all you Trump supporting people. Hey, Mel, NYC, Marie De La Cruz. Hey, Jimmy Nolan. I don't know if you're in the right chat, if you're over here, but let's have a discussion. So what we're going to talk about tonight is what's going on here in Georgia. I'm going to give you some information if you haven't already started to early vote on a couple of states that's opened up their voting, early voting for this week. And so I want to get into the whole Kamala Harris thing and why black men are not up to voting for her, which I find to be interesting. So if you are a Trump supporter, you know, I'll drop a link for you to come on up and have a discussion if you would like. But this is not a Trump supporting channel, just to let you know. Okay. Hey, Miss Gardner. So guess we can. Because guess who voted today? I voted this morning. Today was the first day it opened here in Georgia. So I went out and I voted, and it was easy process. It wasn't difficult. Just got in line, did what I needed to do. And so that's what I did. I voted. Mel NYC Reviews, are you still one of my mods? Because like we're going to have some fun tonight. So, yeah. So I voted for Kamala Harris because this is a Kamala Harris channel that we accept everybody over here if we want to have a decent discussion. But I'm a I'm voting for Kamala. I voted for Kamala Harris, to be honest with you guys, because I believe that, you know, I believe in women having their rights. I believe in freedom, right? I don't believe in dictators, and I don't believe in old men trying to tell women what they should be doing with their bodies, especially ones who have felonies, okay, and who try to overthrow the government. We're not doing that over here, but we can have a discussion about it if you like. Okay, that's fine. I'm opening to listening to you all give your reasonings as to why you think that Donald Trump should be president of the United States and he's a felon. You know, um, a lot of us here are middle of the road people. I'm middle of the road. I believe in some Republican talking points, as I believe in Democratic talking points. I'm not a far leftist. I'm not leftist, and I'm not a far right person. I believe in a balance, and there should be balance when it comes to the government, right? So I have some conservative views. I am from the South. You know, my people know that I am from Texas. I believe in my Second Amendment rights, and I'm also a carrier. So, you know, I believe in that. What I do not believe in is AR-15s are weapons of that can blow someone's head completely off. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe in, um, you know, 18-year-old boys being able to purchase guns, automatic weapons, where they go into schools and unload on small children. I don't believe in that. And I'm sure most of you don't believe in that either. No one's trying to take away your guns, but I do believe there should be some type of system in place that, you know, or laws in place that are set for people that you shouldn't be able to carry mass weapons like that, period. Kermit says, as a Canadian, I hope Kamala wins, but I don't think she will. Okay. So we think positive over here, Kermit, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope you subscribe to this channel. You know, I think that she's going to win. I really do. Do you think Kamala is going to do new things that she is not currently doing in the Biden administration? And if so, what? Just wondering your thoughts. You know what? This is my thoughts. Daniel, thank you for being here. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you like the live tonight. I do believe that she's going to go in and do something different. Here's what I'm thinking, the reasoning as to why she's not doing or saying anything against Joe Biden right now. Let me take this down because we're in a different mode here. Why she's not going saying that, you know, saying her own, she's really speaking her policies, but she's also taking up for Joe Biden, right? She's not saying anything against him. So she kind of agrees with what he's saying and what he did and all of that. That's fine, because right now, the interest rates have gone down. Inflation has gone down, right? Interest rates have gone down. Inflation has gone down, I think, to 2.4%, 2.6, 2.4, something like that. And so, you know, I think that what Kamala is doing is she's, you know, very loyal to Joe Biden. And she doesn't want to talk about him in a negative way, right? She doesn't want to go out there and say, oh, he shouldn't have did this, and this is my policies, and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So she's going to give her policies and what she's doing. And I believe she's going to do something completely different. I really, truly do. I don't think it's going to be I think the way the economy is going right now, it's going in the right trajectory. So I do believe that she's probably going to stick on that, but I also believe that she's going to implement some of her own policies, and that's going to move us forward. We talked about, well, you know, she's talking about doing something that all Americans can have, as far as being able to, you know, they're giving out $25,000 for first-time home buyers, I believe, and or if you want to start a business or something like that. I think it's to start a business, right? So I think she's going to implement things into the system that is going to benefit all people. We don't need any trillionaires walking around here. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need Elon Musk, because on the path of being a trillionaire, Elon Musk, he's on the path of being a trillionaire. I mean, make that make sense. And he wants to complain about, what the government is doing to all of us and how they're going to take away our jobs. And he includes himself into our jobs as if he can't even relate to where we are as people. He doesn't relate. This man has yachts, he has homes, he has, everything that he could possibly have at his hey Von Eric, at his fingertips. He cannot relate to us, period. So this man just wants power. He's about to be the richest man in the world. And Donald Trump is going to give him a platform. Okay, he's going to put him in position and give him a platform where Elon Musk is going to be part of the government. And I find it very disturbing that Donald Trump comes in and say, oh yeah, I'm going to put you in the power and I'm put you in the power. You don't believe in Project 2025 if you're over here. I mean, we have said over here plenty of time and talked about Project 2025. We went over some of Project 2025, mostly the bullet points, because it's 924 pages. And, I was watching Roland Martin a couple of nights ago, and it was a woman that came on and said that Project 2025 will affect Black American people more than anyone here. Okay. So, and that's just a fact. If they're going to get rid of Board of Education, that's going to affect mostly inner city children in the urban areas, because they're going to take money out of the school system, put it into the private school sector. They're going to educate private children. Now, if you can't, children that can go to private school, and if you cannot afford private school, I'm sorry, your child is not going to get a good education, because they're taking away education from poor children, right? Average children, or, average families that have to put their kids through public schools. Those kids are not going to get a good education if they snatch away the education. That's just a fact. So we have to just really, really say enough is enough as middle class, as lower middle class people, at paycheck to paycheck people living off of Social Security. You know what I'm saying? We have to say enough is enough. When can we have a part in this system? When can we? So we have to get out there and vote. And I always stress over here, if you're new to this channel, I always stress for people to get out and vote for your governors, for your senators, for your councilmen, for your mayors. Those are the people that matter the most. Those are the people that get in and start writing these laws. And Kamala Harris is just going to be, the icing on the cake. And for me, this is history. And for me, I think that it's time that a woman becomes president of the United States. It's time. We messed up when Hillary didn't win, because people did not get out and vote. Did not get out and vote at all. And so she should have been president, right? And maybe we'll be on a different path. We wouldn't have to be worrying about a Donald Trump. But now we have to worry about a man, a 78-year-old man, that is clearly losing his mind. Now, some of y'all may beg to differ, but I'm telling you, this man is not right. And he believes he can just say whatever. And he says whatever, and he gets away with it. He gets a pass. And it's not fair, but life is not fair. Okay? It's not fair. But we don't want to have to deal with that for 4 years, right? Okay. I know I don't. And I hope that a lot of you do not want to have to deal with the madness of Donald Trump for 4 years, let alone JD Vance, because Donald Trump is an old man, right? And I hear he has high cholesterol. So, I mean, that's just he might, who knows? I'm not going to say anything negative. It's just too many of y'all over here. Okay. So yes, we can. Yes, we can. So let's go ahead and try to get into this point here. Why are Black men hesitant on voting for Kamala Harris? I'm going to run through this really quick here. Historical context. There's a complex history of how Black communities have been treated by politicians, leading to skepticism about promises and policies. Perceptions of authenticity. Some voters may question whether Harris truly understands and prioritizes the specific issues facing Black communities. So, I was watching Don Lemon. Shout out to Don Lemon and his new YouTube channel, right? I was watching him, and he had a young man on there, and the man was basically saying that, people just don't trust her. It's just something about her they just don't trust. They don't, they don't connect to her. They don't understand what her policies are. They don't understand, why they can't connect to her. She laughs too much. It's always something. Well, Donald Trump, farts on stage when he's at one of his rallies. He passes gas. He doesn't give you policies. He weaves stories together, right? Because that's what he's been doing, weaving in and out his stories, which make no sense, right? We can keep repeating and saying that he's weird. We can keep repeating and saying that he talks about Hannibal Lecter. I mean, that's strange. Well, but yesterday, a couple of days ago, he was dancing on stage for a whole hour to, the song that by Sinead O'Connor. You know what I'm saying? And calling people in his audience because they were passing out due to the heat, saying that maybe they should lose 5 pounds or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, he did fart. He actually farted on at one of his rallies on stage while he was speaking. Policy disagreements. Individuals may have differing views on certain policies Harris has supported, especially her past roles in law enforcement and criminal justice. Now, we have debunked the fact that she put thousands of Black men in prison, when in fact she did not, right? She did not. And so from my understanding, it was only like 45, and they were not all Black men. So that's another lie that has been going around and being spread, that she, put all these Black men in prison for marijuana charges or whatever. I mean, if you're out committing crimes, who do you think you are? Donald Trump? You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump, you're not Donald Trump. So let's get it together here. Don't do the crime, you won't have to do the time. So the excuses about her locking up men, the marijuana charges and all that, I don't want to, that's just, don't do it. Don't sell it. Just don't do it. You won't get locked up. But she did not do that. She did not lock up thousands or hundreds of men behind marijuana charges. That is a lie. The broader political landscape. Many Black men, like other voters, might be weighing their options among various candidates considering, broader political landscape. Many Black men, like others, might be weighing their options among various candidates considering who they believe will be best to address their concerns. Now, if you believe Donald Trump is best to address your concerns, Black men, I'm going to drop my link, and I would love for someone to come up and tell me why you resonate with Donald Trump. Okay, so let me drop a link. This is not a there you go. So I drop a link if anybody wants to come up. That is a Trump supporter, preferably someone of color. And please explain to me why you resonate with Donald Trump. What does Donald Trump do for you? I was talking to a friend, and we were literally talking about, they just don't understand. They ask questions like, what policies is Donald Trump, how is his policies helping Black men? And he says, I never get an answer to that. So, hello, Mel.
Hey, I just wanted to say this real quick. When the show first started, I thought we had trolls in the chat. So that was why I had to say this real quick. I'm gonna drop that down because you're doing a good job. But I want to apologize to the subscribers or whoever they were. On this channel, Miss Sunny, she definitely don't censor anybody. We like to have an educated conversation. So if I made a mistake, again, I'm very parent about that. I'm about that. I want to apologize to the people because they didn't come in saying any N words or anything, but I thought it was trolls. So that's why I did time them out for 2 days or whatever it was. I did. I did. What 3 people, Miss Sunday, so you can probably get them off. But they came in so fast. I said, "Oh, I made a big mistake." But with that, but just wanted to say that real quick. I wanted to let them know that they welcome. And I just thought they were trolls, so that's why I did that.
Oh, I don't know. I'll go in here and unblock it. Yeah. So you have an opinion, Mel?
Opinion. Well, I'm not a Trump supporter. I hope that other people come up and maybe the people I blocked by accident, they come up and they want to come up here and talk if they want to. I mean, it's up to them.
So what is your take on black men not voting for Kamala Harris?
Well, I'm disappointed. I feel like for me, to be honest with you, it's been almost a year and a half at this point of us sort of pandering to this population of people who we know damn well is not going to vote for Kamala Harris, no matter what we say, no matter how much, we're getting so close to the election. I hate to use this analogy, but it's almost like being in a relationship with somebody. At a certain point, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. There's nothing you can say, nothing you can do. It's going to change the mind of the person. So you just got to go, you know what? God bless you. Do the best. Do what you're going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do at this point. Because I watched different panels and listen to different podcasts, and they're saying that they're not making sense at this point. Those very conservative, black and brown people, it's about money. And so for me, if you're not threatened by the fact that Donald Trump was so triggered to go from entertainment to go to this who he is today because Obama was elected, I can't do anything for you. I can't. It's nothing I can say. We've said it all. Also, the thing is about healthcare. It's not just about black men or these guys, these people who are in love with Trump, who I consider, and I've said it before, I consider a national terrorist. This is the fact is you have relatives in your family who have health conditions. And the last time this man was in charge of a national crisis with a health, problem, he did it. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people passed away. Right. So God forbid he is getting on his desk again reports of some virus or some kind of thing, and I'm like, really? So I don't know. I mean, that's not good.
Blue Labels, how you doing? He said black men for Trump really gonna love with the policing increases. Yes, absolutely. I'm doing a video about that tomorrow. Yeah. I don't know, Mel. We talked about it. We just don't understand why black men feel the need to go out and, vote for someone against their own interests. I never understood why people would vote against their own interests anyway. I just don't understand that. A lot of it, to be honest with you, in my opinion, a lot of it has to do with race. It has to do with fear and fear of a black planet, So I think a lot of people are afraid. And what we have going on now with the getting rid of Roe versus Wade is basically birth girth, right? We had this conversation before. The white race, women aren't having babies like they used to. So you have a lot of women being independent saying, I don't want to have children. You have a lot of couples saying, I don't want to have children. I just don't want to have kids. They want to go out. They may feel like they can't afford to have children, right? Or they may feel like I'm not ready to have this child. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my eggs. I'm going to go live my best life. And then when I'm ready, I'll get infertile. How you say it?
Oh, yeah. When you're ready, they have a baby later on.
Right. So have a baby later on. And I think for the government, and especially the Republicans, to have always said we need to have no government into our business, right? This is what they used to be, should be small government, and they shouldn't be in our business. But now it's almost like, well, it is like they have blatantly turned around and said, you know what? No, we're going to be in your business. IVF, thank you, Blue Labels. We're going to be in your business, and we're going to tell you have to have children, and we're going to censor you too. So it's like they're talking out of both sides of their mouths.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, they always do. They always do. I think
they
that
always.
they really do. I think that that's you made a good point. I think the simple fact is a lot of the people like Elon Musk and people like him, they go free speech, and I don't want to be controlled over the pow pow laws and whatever else, whatever. But yet they are so threatened when people from the community come up there and say there's something wrong in this country. There's something wrong with this. We have concerns about that. Oh, that's dangerous. Don't let a trans person go to the library and have a good time and want to read stories to the people. Well, that is the most craziest, the most threatening thing in the world. But yet you're so free when it comes to the pow pows going around. You're so free with the racism. Like that makes no sense to me at all. Also, oh, what I was going to say, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think that they always want it both ways all the time. And at the end of the day, it's gone on for so many years. Just my personal opinion. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. People who are smart will be okay. It doesn't end. I think that for me, the message I'm telling my family and friends is that don't let this election, don't let this election be the end of your participation in the political process. Continue in December, continue in January, and in 2025. Please continue, because there's a lot of things you can do. Just make it a part of your life. Now that you're so engaged and you want things to happen, don't let Donald Trump, God help us, if he gets in office, don't let him sit in there for 8 or 20 years. Fight. Be a part of your local race and stuff like that. Don't just throw in the towel. So for me, I hope people get activated and want to participate more. Don't just get tired and just complain about stuff. No, stay active, participate, join your local community boards. Like I've been telling people, make sure you touch your local representatives. There's a wonderful website called Who Represents Me. You put your little city up in there and you find out your local, people, talk to them, especially after the election, especially when you're feeling, I hope, like you said, I hope everything works out like we want it to. But if it doesn't, make sure you run over to your local officials and ask them what next. What do we do next? Because there are things to be done. That's what I feel. That's why I don't feel so, like crazy, because I'm having this kind of conversations.
So Leo's son said they had 3.5 years to fix the economy. Well, if Trump hadn't messed up the economy and allowed the pandemic to happen, we wouldn't have to be fixing anything. Right. So we wouldn't have to be going through, because remember, Leo's son, that when Trump came in, he was riding off of Obama's policies and things that he had put in economy that were in place. Okay, he did that for 2 years, and when he started messing it up, he messed it up. He didn't, he told you to go inject bleach so you can get rid, so you wouldn't catch the pandemic. we can't say this, so you wouldn't catch the C word. Told you inject bleach in your veins. When the summertime come around, step outside because the sun is supposed to kill it. He told you that, and 1 million people died. I personally know someone who passed away from the C word,
the virus.
And it was devastating, and it happened within 2 weeks. So to say you already know what Trump is about, this is why I don't mind putting him, because a lot of Black men are saying that. I know what he's about. I know what to expect out of him. Why would you want to expect that? And why would you want to have that again for the next 4 years?
Yeah,
8 years, because he said he's not stepping down. So it's like, so now you want a dictator? So you okay with a dictator, Leo's son? You okay with that?
So, and my thing is too, I know people have this crazy thing when they go to Kamala Harris about, is she Black? I don't care about that. But the simple fact is, the best indicator of how he's going to treat the Black guys who want to vote for him is how he treated Obama.
Yeah. So Leo's son said, what about the open border? Okay, so let me say this. People have been coming over here for years. The the open border did not just happen when during the Biden administration. It has been said that during Donald Trump's administration, people were coming over as well. But you're not talking about that. Let's talk about it, because it didn't happen just the last 3.5 years. It's been going on for about 20 years. People have been coming in here. This is nothing new. Let's not just focus on us, all these immigrants coming over here right now. Are they taking your jobs, Leo's son? Are they taking your job from you? Please.
But can I say something?
And then, right, Bone Mama, the Republicans killed the bill. They had a bill, and it was the most restrictive bill, the most conservative bill they've ever had. And Donald Trump said, don't pass it, because he needed something to run on. Let's not get up in here and talk these talking points. Now, I dropped my link if you want to come up. And Leo's son, if you want to come up and give us some facts and not just a bunch of talking points from the Republican side, I don't mind listening to you, because we can have a debate about it.
Yeah, and also I would hope that also, again, the three Trump supporters I blocked accidentally come up too. That Mr. Maury and whoever else they come up. But I want to say this too. I said this before. I don't believe in a million years that all the problems that we've had the last 10, 20, 30 years will be fixed before the election in November. I don't believe that's going to happen. But I do believe there's a lot of things going on in this country. And I don't want, and there are conversations that need to be had. I don't want to have those conversations with Trump. I just don't. We have these two people on the ticket. One is, in my opinion, insane, and one is a person who I want to deal with. And that's just the way it is. When Trump got in office, he was riding high off of what Obama did all those years in office. And then when he gave it back the country to Biden, we were wearing masks. People were dying. People were passing away. The country was in shambles. We are just bouncing back financially. Right. From all the loans and all the things we had to do to build up. We have to remember when Biden was voted, we couldn't go out the door. We couldn't go out the house because we were all stuck in the house because of the virus that Trump didn't want to get under control. People seem to forget how much fear it is. The fact that we are breathing air and they have no mask on our faces because of this current president.
That's true.
That's why I'm saying, for me, it's a state of emergency. But if you're a praying person like I am, like Miss Sunny is and everybody else is, it'll be okay no matter what happens. But the simple fact is, when Trump was in office, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. And every single person of African American descent that was in his first White House, all of them are saying, I'm voting for Kamala Harris because I don't like the way he treated me. It doesn't matter if you were white, black, whatever, or Omarosa or Dick Cheney or whatever the man, other people. They said that those people believed in him too. Right. They believed in him too, enough to be on in his office. And they saw him up close in person. They knew that the man he didn't have no sense. He didn't know what he was doing. Right. So now, okay, what's this? Obama handed Trump a gift, and Trump handed Biden. Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you, Miss Bone Mama. Absolutely, that's what it is. That's exactly what's going on.
Bone Mama said in a mess.
Yeah, that's what's going on. I mean, that's what's amazing to me. I guess I don't know. Like I said, the country was in shambles. It's almost like giving somebody your luggage and it's all beautiful, then they give it back. It's all got holes in it and messed up and everything. That's how Trump did the country.
So
that was just, yeah.
You're basically if you're voting for Trump, you're playing Russian roulette. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like Maya Angelou said, when they tell you who they are, believe them the first time. The first time. I don't need to deal with him a second time because I already know what he's gonna do the first time. And if you think, I saw a video with him saying, "Oh, I love the blacks. I love my black men." Oh my God, because the numbers for him, from the polling, is saying that he has, the polls are up for him as far as black men voting for him. But are those black men going to go out and vote? Typically, the ones that I've been saying that they're going to vote for Donald Trump. They're not voting for no, Kamala Harris. I ain't going to get no. it's that kind of man, you know what I'm saying? And I don't see them going to the booth to vote. Now, when I went to go vote this morning, there were a lot of young people coming in and out. And I was surprised by that because this is early voting. So I was very surprised to see young people out voting. So, I believe they said here in Georgia, 250,000 people. They got in 250,000. So they broke a record where in 2020 was 136,000 came out to vote and early vote. So right now, 250. And Trump is here in Georgia right now. He's in another part of Georgia, but he's here close to Atlanta, and he is talking to people, telling them to get out and vote. And they're out here, they're early voting. But remember, they said you don't early vote. Remember the last time, I think it was in 2020, he was telling people not to early vote. So he knows that early voting matters, right? Now he does. This man is fighting for his life, okay? Because he doesn't want to go to jail, because that's where he'll probably end up going, is to jail if he doesn't win, because he's going to get in, and he's going to get immunity for what he did. He caused an insurrection. Somebody told me today there was no insurrection. I'm like, when was I watching on television when I saw it with my own two eyes? Because I'm not blind. I wear glasses, but I'm not blind. Okay. So what I saw was a whole bunch of people climbing, hitting people with poles and flag poles and trying to rush the building and saying off with his head about Mike Pence, So I saw a lot of what I saw looked like an insurrection to me. So I'm not clear of their definition of an insurrection, but my definition of an insurrection is what I saw. You know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead and y'all hit the like button as you come in and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to be having more conversations like this up to the election time. Because I think it's very important that, people get out and say, look, I don't know. Because there's some people that still undecided, which I find to be mind-boggling, that you're undecided when you have someone like Donald Trump walking around, weaving stories together. I want to say this about Joe Biden. We know that Joe Biden is what 82 years old now. So he's 82-year-old man. Everybody wanted him to step down because he was too old. I mean, they ran with the fact he was just too old. He's losing his mind. He's not up to it. He doesn't have that zing like he used to have. And now what Donald Trump is doing, to me, is like he's losing his mind. He's 78 years old. He can't even put his makeup on all the way,
Right.
Like what's that orange stuff? They got that orange candy. They got the white in the middle of it, the white stuff in the middle of it. He looked like that when he painted half his face. I mean, you don't even have the stuff on, right? He's not, he's leaning forward. They say when people start leaning forward when they walk, they can't really stand straight. They kind of lean forward. There's something going on up here. So, that's what I was told.
I believe you.
Yeah, that's what I was told. So I don't think that his mind is not working. Donald Trump is just he's not healthy. His cholesterol is high. You think about it. They don't want him doing a lot of, you're going to lose your mind November 5th. Am I, David? I don't lose my mind.
Who said?
DLL, I don't know how to say his name. Dillavid or whatever. I don't lose my mind, sweetie. So, but I dropped the link if you wanted to come up here and tell me why I would lose my mind, since you obviously are a Trump supporter. Anything. Joe is an incompetent dude. These are probably a bunch of guys. Joe is an incompetent dude. That's why he was kicked out of the race. Joe is old. So how old are you? So if Joe got kicked out of the race, shouldn't Donald Trump be kicked out of the race too because he's incompetent? I mean, he don't have it all together. Omar Valdivia. Omar Valdivia. Omar.
Now you see. Now, can I say this? Can I say this? Can I got you? So this is what I saw with Miss Omar, whoever the person is, Omar, Mr. Valdivia. Yeah, when I saw that at the beginning, I thought it was a troll. So listen, whoever y'all, the link is there. Come on up, and it's safe to communicate. Again, Miss Sunny don't. I mean, this is her channel, and that's why I apologize. I'm like, oh wait a minute, I never time out people, whatever. But I'm not doing that anymore. People, as long as they ain't going crazy, come on up, talk to us, let us know what's going on.
Blue Label said he's on that Adderall bad, so bad he's shitting his diapers on stage. Blue Label said they won't come up because they're trolls. Yeah, they are trolls. So Wendy Noble said I voted for Kamala today. Me too, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy Noble. Living up to her name, Noble. Okay, they are trolls.
Noble woman.
Another woman. Women are going to save men. That's who's going to save black men this year. It's going.
And you know what, the black men
once again, black women and all women at this point.
Come on now. Listen. I think, but the thing is, as a black man, I don't understand what's going on with my brothers because I'm thinking they should be able to save themselves. Like it's only a vote. You know what I was going to say too, Miss Honey. This is the thing too. Again, I think that the conversations and the things that's going on. It is. Can we put that back up there again? I'm sorry. I want to see that comment right there.
Which one?
The American supporter.
Oh. DL. I don't know how to say it.
Okay, I got it right there. So this is I'm trying to think, what article was it that I was talking to somebody who served in the Army, and me and him had a really good conversation because the way that Donald Trump has treated the veterans that have been alive and the ones that passed away on their grave is abominable. It is totally abominable. And for him to have been attacked, or the person to try to power him or whatever, unalive him, and then the country try to turn him into a national hero is insane to me. This man has treated the veterans terribly. I could never, ever, ever vote for somebody who's talked about people who serve this country the way this man has.
Yeah, me either. So Omar said, I just have one genuine question. What is one policy that Kamala has supported that has improved America? I was a centrist. Okay.
But I'm going to say this too. I don't know if I believe that you were a centrist. I don't believe that. And I'm sorry, when I get up online, Miss Sunday, I'm very politically correct. But tonight, I guess I'm just not going. I'm not buying the BS tonight. I'm sorry. You know how I talk. But tonight, I'm not going to do it tonight.
So, okay. So one of the policies that I can give you off the top of my head is the infrastructure bill that they signed to help put infrastructure into cities that will help basically urban cities and other rural areas to help them blossom. I know where I live right now, they're building homes like it is like no tomorrow. I'm everywhere. They're building homes and they're building affordable homes so that people can afford to buy. So the inflation has gone down to I believe it was 2.3% or 2.4%, something like that. It's in that range. It's going down. So it's getting better. I think what's happening, Omar, I think that was people are doing, you're living off these talking points. And Blue Label says reproductive rights for women. And she's going to make sure reproductive rights for women. That's true. But I think what people are doing is you're getting caught up in these Republican talking points. And America is not doing bad. People still have their jobs. Matter of fact, during the Biden administration, there have been more jobs produced than any other administration ever. So I don't understand why you all are missing those bullet points, but you're sticking to
But
the bullet
Miss,
points
but
and
Sonny,
the negative bullet points of Trump. I'm sorry. Go
the
ahead, Bill.
fact that we're still alive is the biggest thing. Like all the things that they did when we got in office to keep America physically alive is enough for me. Like what I don't understand. Like what bullet points did Biden and Kamala Harris do to take? They saved America. They literally saved America from their graves.
Right.
I
That's
mean,
true.
what else can we say? They saved America. They saved the economy, and oh Jesus.
Because one thing because remember, his own person in his own Republican Party, Nikki Haley, said Trump drove up the
National debt or something.
the national debt to what, $7 trillion or something crazy like that, or he added 7 trillion, something like that, to the national debt. And so this is what he's going to do when he gets in office. If he gets in office, God help us all. If you think that it's hard now, because your mind is telling you, oh, it's so hard and we're just living, you won't have a paycheck to live off of. You won't have it. And I'm not here to try to, and I know you're Hispanic, Omar. I already knew that. I could tell by your name. I mean, being a Hispanic person, seeing how the border has been, let me catch this real quick. Seeing how the border has been left open is a massive issue. The Tren de Aragua is terrible. What? The Tren de Aragua is terrible. The poor kids being trafficked as well at the record immigration. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick, Mel. Let's talk about the border. So earlier, someone in the chat literally said, Donald Trump stopped the border bill. He stopped it. It was a real conservative bill that everybody in the House said, let's pass it. Donald Trump said, don't pass it, because if you do, I won't have anything to run on. We should not, he didn't say that. He said, I don't want to make Joe Biden look good. I don't want the Biden administration to look good. Because he needed something to talk about. And Omar, you being a Hispanic person, I don't care if you were born here in this country. Your ancestors got over here, whether it was legal or illegal. There's a lot of illegal people here. So be it. I'm from Texas. I already know what it's like. But those people come here for a reason, because they know that in America, their opportunities are vast and great, right? They're coming here to make something of themselves. Every Hispanic person that I have ever met in my entire life, in Texas or here, has never committed a crime. They start their own businesses. They feed their families, and they're working hard to feed their families. You should know that about Omar, because it's a very traditional culture that you all have as families. You take care of your families, okay? And so I agree. There needs to be some type of, they need to have some type of structure down at the border. But if you think they're only trafficking children through the border, they're trafficking them through the airports. Okay? Prostitution, children, they're trafficking him right here in Georgia through the airports, on planes. So it's not like, oh, Trump is not going to build a wall, sweetie. He can sit here and tell you all day long that he's going to build a wall. It's not going to happen. Just like he built it, like he was going to get Mexico paid for it the last time. It didn't happen. It's not going to happen. You need to get someone that's going to come in, okay, and do what they say what they mean, and get stuff done. Trump is not trying to do that. Trump is trying to stay out of prison, period. And I'm telling you right now, when he tells you that this is what I'm going to send everybody home. So for you as a Hispanic person to sit here and say you having problems because it's a border issue, I would want more people coming over here that's connected to me in my culture, that's going to be on my side, because I guarantee you this man is sitting there saying that he's going to send illegal. He's sending legal legal people who have papers to be here. He's sending them back. He don't want no Haitians over here. He don't want Hispanic people over here. He don't want Asian people over here. He don't want Black people over here. Okay? That's real. So once they're gone and you able to prove that you are here, what they're going to tell you? No, no, Omar. Well, you just don't look white enough to me, Omar. You look like a Mexican. What are you, Omar? No, I don't believe this. Did you make this up on the computer, Omar? You got to go. I don't know where you're going, but you're getting the hell out of America. I don't care how good your English is. You don't look American. Because to them, American is white, blue eyes and blonde hair. We're dealing with, Adolf Hitler all over again. This man is about to go speak at Madison Square Garden on the 27th of October. I'm sure you know all about that, Omar. And 1939, you know who else spoke there? Adolf Hitler. They are telling you exactly what they're going to do. Okay, so I hope you have your passport papers ready. Because, I'm born and raised here too. I'm a descendant of slaves. I got blood on this land. I have ancestors who have blood on this land. Okay? They helped build this country. And they could stop me and say, you know what? You don't look American. Where's your papers? If it's up to Donald Trump, we'll all be living in concentration camps. Okay? If you don't think they're going to divide this country up, the blue states stay over here, and the people who are red, y'all coming over here. And the people are going to be in red states, they're going to benefit, but they're not going to look like you, sweetie. I don't know how you look or how, ethnic you look. But if you don't look like a white person, nah, it's not happening for you. And I can almost promise you that, because he's telling you that. He's basically sitting on camera telling you exactly that. The man is a straight up racist. Now, racist is not a person that just go around calling you the N-word all day. It's way deeper than that. Way deeper.
Well, I'm looking at the chat. The chat is off the chain. It's out of control. I'm like, wait, I don't know where some of these people come from. Omar and this one. I'm like, oh, gee, yeah.
Well, Omar said he's not a troll. Trump said he likes people of all colors and creed. He is against illegals with the GOP. It's very hard on this distasteful, but things were better before. How were they better before? People were dying when Trump was in office. People passed away, friends and family, people died because of his negligence and not knowing how to run the country. He got rid of things that Obama had put in place to have to deal with pandemics. He got rid of that because all he wanted to do was get rid of everything that Obama put in place. Sweetie, Trump does not like everybody. He does not. He's the worst kind of racist because he'll smile in your face, tell you that he like you, and destroy you from behind. That's who he is. He's a true racist. I don't know what else to say. Like, it's blatant. It's blatant. It's racism. He's racist to the core. And like I said, he's the worst guy. When you are surrounded by racism, when you are surrounded by racist people, and you're okay with that, that's a problem.
Well, Ms. Sunny, I was going to say this. I'm listening. What I'm noticing in the chat, I mean, God bless Blue Label in there for, for handling the trolls in the chat. God bless them for that. But what I'm noticing is you're making some good points, and the people that you're talking to, these new subscribers, whoever they are, they're not really addressing the people who died during the pandemic. They're not addressing the destruction of the Capitol. They're not addressing his charges. They're not addressing, all the things that. So at a certain point, it's a waste of time at this point because they're not really addressing the issues that he has. The one thing I will say to a lot of things that they're saying in the chat, these new people, is that, yes, I agree. There are many things that we have to have a conversation about. I truly don't believe that Trump is the right person. Name another Republican that you can think of out of your head. Any one of those people would be much better than Trump, in my opinion, because they know about the principle of government. It's not about becoming a king in this country. We don't want somebody so bloodthirsty they want to get into the presidency so they can sit there for another 15, 20 years. We want somebody who knows the rules of the game. Don't. So that's what I think that any other Republican, you can have these conversations about cheap gas or whatever else your concerns is about, but not Trump. That's just what I feel like. The concerns that some people have, it's okay. But I don't think that we're going to get those concerns met in this, for them with Trump. I just don't think so. I think we need somebody else,
Mr. Cheese says, I'm assuming you are a Democrat. So as a Democrat, do you think Kamala was the best choice after Biden dropped out? Or did you feel there was a better choice? I didn't really know. Look, I was going to vote for Joe Biden, to be honest with you, because I'm voting against Donald Trump, period. It could have been Timbuktu. It could have been anybody. I'm voting against Donald Trump, to be honest with you. Like I said, I'm in the middle of a lot of the policies and stuff like that. But what I'm not going to tolerate is someone in my face basically telling me he loved me when I know, in fact, doing research behind this man does not like me. He doesn't like people like me. So I'm not going to vote for that person. And, definitely I'm okay with a tax break. It's not like I'm sitting over here living paycheck to paycheck. So, and I have friends who, are well-off people that would love to have the tax break. But what is my money if I don't have freedom? Okay. So for me, it could have been anybody that I agree with, whatever. I'm not voting for Donald Trump. And I'm not going to vote for a Jill Stein or anyone like that, because that's just wasting a vote. My ancestors didn't die for me to waste a vote. I hope that answers your question. Who was Karen Smith? Oh, I don't know what she can't spell, so I'm not going to say anything to her. Let's see. Tracy Bossy, she said, that's how racist bigots work. He's dividing y'all. How do you think they keep slavery in power for centuries? Yep. Dorothy Land said full of shit. Why is this woman brainwashed? Karen, you're the one that's brainwashed. Dems have destroyed our country, Dorothy. The Haitians are overtaking that community. Wake up, lady. I don't live in that community. I live in Georgia, honey, where there's a ton of Black folks over here. So I see Africans. I see dark Latinos, Black Latinos. I see everybody over here in Georgia, sweetie. And ain't nobody taking over that community. Those people want those people in the community because they said they were doing jobs that no one else was doing. And they're doing a really good job. If you're still over here, Miss Karen Smith. Now you can take your racist behind and kick rocks, ma'am. Go ahead and block this Karen Smith lady. Because she don't need to be over here.
Where's Karen?
On your way out, you like my video. What'd you say?
I'm looking at, you said Karen, I don't see her.
Karen Smith. I don't do the racist stuff. Don't come over here talking about these people are taking over the community. They're not taking over the community.
Okay.
Gonna tell me I'm brainwashed. You're the one that's brainwashed. Nobody's taking over anything. Nobody's taking over their community. They literally sit there and said they're good people that's helping their community grow. They're bringing more money into the community because they're working jobs that no one else will work. Karen Smith, why don't you do your research, ma'am, before you come over here trying to tell me about what I don't know, trying to tell me that I'm brainwashed. I already know. I look this shit up all the time. I read this shit every freaking day. Every day. I look at polls every freaking day. Every morning. I barely go to sleep thinking about this shit. So don't come over here, Karen. Your name fits you very well, Karen.
And maybe that's why she chose it.
Maybe so. Let's see. People want closed borders. Yeah. Omar said the kids in cages policy was the Obama thing. Biden said, if you don't for me, or if you don't, you ain't black. How is that not racist? I feel that the Dems need to. Okay, and he apologized for it, Omar.
Now now I'm saying David say Kool-Aid drinking. What's going on here?
I guess he drinking Kool-Aid. I don't drink Kool-Aid.
What is going on? Jeez.
I mean, it's just a bunch of angry people.
Oh,
he said that he said what he said was, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now, being a black person, I understood what he meant by that. And he right. To me, he was telling the truth. Now, it may come out racist to some people. I think black people got angry because he said that, because we're not a monolith, right? No, and neither are you being a Latino person. So we're not monoliths. We can vote for whomever we want to vote for. I like Kissinger, the Republican. I like Kissinger and, Liz Cheney. I respect Liz Cheney like no other person. I have a lot of respect for that woman because I believe she's a real conservative. I believe she's a true conservative. And I believe she stands up for what she truly believes in, right? So her policies and stuff, I believe she believes in that. She doesn't believe in what Donald Trump was doing. She believes in this country and she loves this country. So I have a lot of respect for Liz Cheney. I have a lot of respect for people who have served this country, whether you are Republican or Democrat or whatever. I have a lot of respect for you if you serve this country. Because guess what? I ain't going to do it. And I know a lot of people who are not going to stand up and do it, right? But if you go out and serve to give me my freedoms to be able to vote the way I choose to kneel down and do a peaceful protest and not say I'm a son of a bitch because I kneel down to protest the killing of Black men getting shot in their backs for whatever, I commend you for that, right? I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is somebody telling me, oh, you can't do this with your body. I'm not going to allow you to do this. So you either die having a baby, right? And that baby can die with you. That's on you, but you ain't doing it because I'm putting into laws that you have no control over your body. I think it's disgusting. And you should be disgusted by it as well. Because you wouldn't want nobody to tell you, oh, Mr. Omar, you can't produce babies. Well, you better get your penis hard.
Low.
You better make it hard, make it work. Or I'm going to have to stick something in it and make it come up. A matter of fact, you having too many kids, Omar. I'm going to have to castrate you. So to me, it's just like, I think it's very, we got to take out, the border crisis will be handled.
But okay, Miss Honey, I have to, because I'm just, what, we've been on this. Okay, who what? Okay, I'm looking at the channel.
I know you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that we've been on your channel. Okay, there we go. We've been on your channel doing our thing, and it just seems like for some reason, this show was promoted in like a Trump, Elon Musk, Facebook, dark web group, because I'm thinking, where in the heck did all these people come from that are not really talking about nothing? It's almost like Blue Label said, they out here just to steer the conversation to get you on the defensive, or to get the people who support Kamala Harris on the defensive. That is not what this election is about. I personally would say to, if trolls or whoever they are, that we are in a state of emergency in this country. This is a state of emergency. And I don't feel like Trump is the person to do the job. I don't like the way he did the job before. I feel like our health, physical health, was in danger the last time he was in office. I think he's unbalanced and deranged. And I think there's other Republicans out there in 4 years that may give, maybe another balance to the political process. But I think that yeah, he's not the person for the job. I think because he's popular and an entertainer to some, doesn't mean that he should be given the presidency again.
Yeah. So I totally agree. I don't think he deserves to be president of the United States of America. I don't think that he has the ability to run this country. I don't believe that. I believe he's too old to run this country. He's not even in, you know, he doesn't understand everyone's uh, uh, who people are. He doesn't. He can't connect to people. That's what I'm trying to say. He can't connect to everyone. You know, he's a jokester. He wants to get up there. He thinks it's a reality show. It's not a reality show. This is real life. People deal with real life issues. Donald Trump does not even come close to dealing with the issues that people deal with in real life. This man lives in a golden palace, right? Or plenty of land over there in Mar-a-Lago, and his mansions and his planes.
Miss Sunny, David, I guess this person said, do you want to drop the link?
Sure, I drop it.
Mm-hmm. Because we're going to see what's going on here. Yeah, come on up. Come on.
I'm in my own sitcom, so no, your mind is in your own sitcom.
What is going on? Jeez. I guess it's because it's so close to election, you know?
Right. So if Kamala has her own, she doesn't have generational wealth. You need to know what the difference between generational wealth is and making her own money, going to college, getting a degree, and building her own wealth. That's a difference, sweetie. Generational is what Donald Trump had. His father gave him millions of dollars to start a business. This woman had to work her way to her position. And don't come over here and say that she slept with that old man to get where she needed to be. And if she did, so the hell what? Your grandparents are probably own slaves. So, grandparents own slaves. Prove it to me. I dropped a link if whoever wanted to come up. All Biden does is go to the beach at Rehoboth and live while giving money to Israel and Ukraine. We need to end these wars and focus on ourselves. I agree with that. I agree with that. We need to end these wars. We need to. But what you think Donald Trump gonna do when he get in there? What you think gonna happen? You think he gonna go end wars? You think he's strong enough? He won't even debate this woman again. He won't even sit down for another debate. Okay. He won't do it. He won't do it on Fox. He won't even do it. He wouldn't even go sit down with the people at 60 Minutes, right? He wants to go to these podcasters, these young guys. He wants to sit down with them and joke around with these people. That's what he wants to do. Oh, and Trump played golf every day. He wasn't even in the White House. He'd go around picking up all these papers, and this is what I have to read through. He doesn't even read. Jesus Christ. He went over there, he did, and played golf every freaking day, just about, while people were dying. So I guess you Trump supporter that's over here, I guess you all are okay with Donald Trump giving C-19 tests to Vladimir Putin. You're okay with that, right? When people were over here needing to get tested, he took that from the American people and gave it to your enemy. Generational wealth, a professor does not make a generational wealth, dear dude. Was that you that said that? So yeah, let's not go there.
Listen, you know what? Listen, you know what I'm gonna do? I mean, I had to get up in the morning. I'm gonna drop down. And
yeah, I dropped the link. Nobody wants to come up.
Yeah, I know. I see. I mean,
I know they want to be trolls in the chat.
It's different. It's a different experience. Like, oh, okay. You know, we don't. Oh, it's a little different, very different. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I didn't learn anything from whatever, if they bots, trolls, AI, I mean, it's all like this. It's like all these sort of like they're reading the Project 25 book or something. I don't know. It's just like it's not giving me anything. So I'm actually gonna drop down. But this was really good. Just talking to you as usual, and that's that. That's what we're gonna do. And you know what? They didn't change my mind.
I changed my mind either. Like I already voted, so my vote is already in
It's
there,
already
baby. It's
locked in,
already
right?
in
Go
place.
ahead. It's locked
So
in.
it is what it is.
Come
I
on.
voted for Kamala Harris, and if you don't like it, you can bye. See ya.
Wouldn't want
want
to
to
be,
be
honey.
here
Oh
because
Lord.
I still got my life, and I'm gonna be fine.
Come on now.
If she win or if she don't win, I'll be okay.
That's
Trust
how
me.
that's you got. That's what it is. And I, listen, even to the people out there at the Church of Trump, the people out there that see him as the next savior, they need to realize too that when the man loses, and I hope he does, that maybe they need to decide what to do with their lives, because at the end of the day, politics should not be a religion. It really shouldn't. Nobody should be sitting around here just 24/7 trolling people, going to these places, doing what this person tells you to do. Every person he has been in friends with or business with in political situation, most of them went to jail. How the most of his people that he was in politics with went to jail. Also, I would say too, a lot of the people that was in his first term, or the term that he was in office for 4 years, 99.9% of those people don't want nothing to do with him. Either they went to prison, they voted for Kamala Harris. Like, come on. So I don't know. I don't know, but I'm definitely not voting for a man that told me to put Lysol on my lungs. We're not doing that.
I didn't know Kamala owned slaves.
Who cares? No, I'm joking. I mean,
I didn't know she owned slaves. Like, when did she own slaves? Are you saying her ancestors owned slaves? I'm sure my ancestors owned slaves too. I'm from Louisiana. My family comes from Louisiana. I can almost guarantee you that we had some on the white side of our family. They own some slaves.
if we make it as a competition between who's the worst human being, Trump's going to win every single time.
Right.
I mean, that's just it.
Please. One thing I cannot stand is when someone comes over here to tell me about what black person owns some slaves. First of all, it wasn't her father did not own slaves. Okay, because slavery was over by the time that he was born. Okay, let's be real. Okay, just about I'll probably say 80% of the people that's sitting over here right now going in about this woman having slaves in her family. I'm sure your family owns some slaves too. Why don't you stop digging up her shit and go dig up your shit and find out what your history is and find out if your ancestors own some slaves? Because I'm sure if I dug at mine, I'm sure that we had slave ownership in mine. Because from what my grandmother told me, that her mother was a slave. So don't come over here with it. Okay? So that's why I vote. That's why I get out and I exercise my right to vote, because of that. Because I ain't trying to I'm not going back to slavery. I'm telling you that right now. Donald Trump not going to have me segregated from nothing. I'm going to be able to be free to roam this country the way I want to roam this country. And you should be doing the same thing, Omar. Just don't come over here being self-righteous as if, her ancestors owned slaves. Donald Trump came over here. Were they even legal when they got here? So he's an illegal immigrant. So sick of that shit. Polls usually underestimate Trump's historically by 6 points. So Trump being 0 and 2 is indicative. I don't like Trump's pretentiousness, but I like his policies. Policy over personality. What are his policies, Omar? What is his policies? I'm glad you said something like that. What is his policies? I'll wait. Yeah, Omar, hit the link, because we can have a discussion. I want to know what his policies are, because he hadn't said anything. He says he has a concept of a plan. I don't need, you've been in office. You were president for 4 years already. Donald Trump, you were for 4 years. You rolled off of Obama's economy for 2. So that's when it was great. Then you came in, you added trillions of dollars to the deficit, and yet people people start how this man handled his, he's unfit to run for office. One of the generals just came out and said he's a full fascist. He doesn't need it. Bill Barr came out and said he shouldn't be running for office. He's not fit to run to be a president of the United States. He's not fit. So what policies are you looking at? Are you looking at Project 2025 policies? Are those the policies you're looking at? Because that Project 2025, sweetie, is not going to benefit you, man of color. And she was the second most powerful person in the last 3.5 years. So she wasn't running the office. Joe Biden was. And that piece of shit house they got over there that's trying not to pass anything to benefit your ass. Because I can almost guarantee you ain't that smart. Because I can tell by the stuff you're putting over here.
You know what? I'm going to drop down. It's a strategy. It's giving a little Scientology a little bit to me because basically, I don't know. It just feels like the way that people communicate in the chat and the way they do on different places with Trump supporters, they ask a lot of questions. They never answer any.
They never answer anything.
They never answer anything, and they never can say that this man and that this man cost hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people's lives. That part can never be erased from his history. When he goes, who knows where he goes when he passed away? He's going to have to answer for that. You better believe me. He's going to have to answer for that.
Trump was never involved in 2025. He's only mentioned it 314 times, and he's only had Kevin. I think I can't remember the man's name. The leader of the Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation. I think his first name is Kevin. She only had him introduce him several times. He's only said that he's going to give Trump to implement his agenda like he did in 2020 when Trump was in office in 2016. What they did was they already started giving him the Project 2025 agenda to start putting into the system. That's Donald Trump's policies, sweetheart. He's already done and started doing it. That's why he got rid of DEI. That's why he got rid of Roe versus Wade. That's part of Project 2025. So Salt, I need you to get your whole mind together, sweetie. And before you come over here trying to tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I need you to go over there and do your research and stop listening to freaking faux news and what Donald Trump is saying. Okay? Because there's plenty of video. Okay? With Donald Trump shaking hands, saying, when we get in office, we will implement Project 2025. Okay? Girl, you need to move on.
They took over the chat. I'm out. That's it. Because if the people hit the link, they want to call in, have a conversation to be civilized, but she's just
ignorant.
Yeah,
you can go ahead and block her if you want to. I can't.
Well, which one is it? What's the name? Okay.
Salt, because she's getting on my nerves.
Okay,
because she's ignorant.
Yeah, because it's getting a little too.
Don't come over here with all that crap, ma'am. You can come over here and be civil, but you're not gonna sit. But you about to be blocked, boo. Yeah, girl. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Salt. With your salty ass. Bye. There it is, Omar.
Well, you know what? Maybe I didn't have to apologize for blocking other people. So,
I can't stand ignorance.
Oh,
I can't stand that. You're gonna sit here. You can sit here and tell me, well, no, he's mentioned in it 312 times. There's video of him out there talking, literally saying that when we implement Project 2025, it's going to be good. It's video. Girl, don't come over here.
I mean, they took over the chat. Damn, that's crazy. I mean, I don't really see, except for Blue Lady, I don't see anybody else none of the regulars really getting a chance to talk. I mean, I'm like, oh, wow. I don't know not one of these people.
The only one that's having civil conversation is Omar.
Okay.
I think he is. I think he's trying, he's debating the issues here.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, David and Omar asked for a lane, nobody came up.
He said they say a lot of things. They all say a lot of things. Okay. And so you okay with him saying a lot of things when it affects you, affects your freedoms? You okay with that? They say a lot of things, but you okay with them saying things that affects your freedoms, David? I don't know what kind of name is that. DLLABID.
It worked for me. What country are you in?
Okay, let me see. Maybe it ain't where here. I just dropped it again. Watch the language. Child, I don't even say whatever I want to say. This is my channel. It ain't monetized and it ain't gonna be monetized. I don't care. I said whatever. Oh, you use Safari. Go ahead and try to hit it now. I can try to generate a new link. Let's see. Because this not StreamYard. All right.
Dr. Emil, you know, I think I was going to say red label. I think blue label is right. These trolls are coming out of the woodwork. What the hell?
You're going to get an answer November 5th. I sure am, and so will you.
And so we all are.
Will you, Speedy?
Yeah. Unless you psychic, anybody got the answer right now?
Right. There go Omar. Hey, Omar.
Right now.
Hello.
Right. How are you?
I'm well.
Omar. Hey, Omar.
Hello.
So you're gonna have to take me off.
I'm well.
Okay, you know how to work.
Hello.
So you're gonna have to take me off.
I'm well.
Yes.
Wait, let me close out the YouTube.
Okay.
All right. Interesting channel.
Oh, thank you. I was just coming over here to give facts. I didn't realize YouTube had put me out there like that. I'm glad that you came up.
Yeah, I watch a lot of political things. So
okay, that's cool.
So you said you're from Texas?
I'm from Texas, born and raised. Yeah.
I'm from Texas as well.
Okay, so I can understand why you feel the way you feel about the border.
Yeah. I just feel that, since the border is something like, without borders, there's like, I know there's like, America is a vast like amalgamation of cultures. Like there is no American culture. I feel like having such an influx of unvetted immigrants, like especially with like DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas just like being completely incompetent, is just like being worse, because yes, there's people trying to find a better home, and I completely agree with that, and I think that everybody has the right to find a better home in America. But I also think that letting anybody into this country in the most reckless fashion and then gaslighting the American public into saying like, we've been to the border or the border secure, is probably like the biggest slap in the face, in my opinion, because it just shows like, they're just letting anybody that's unvetted in, and it's just deeply hurtful for the people who've waited years to get their papers legally. It's literally like a slap in the face, and you're like, what's the point of being a citizen? Like the legal immigration system is broken, in my opinion.
It is.
Like where you have to wait, you have to go back to your country. I mean, you came illegally. Okay, fine. Like I feel like even if you paid a large fine, or America is supposed to be this place of where you come in as an immigrant and you live the American dream, but inflation has taken that away. The housing crisis has taken that away. There's many issues that I think that are extremely detrimental to our country, but I feel like the reckless nature and the constant gaslighting is what makes America's distaste, especially with Kamala being the quote unquote border czar, and now she doesn't want to have that. So that's how I feel.
Okay, so was she the border czar though? Because from my understanding, that she didn't have any legals say what happened at the border. From what I read, that Joe
I
Biden
mean,
actually sent her somewhere else to have conversations to talk about what they can do to help their country so people wouldn't have to keep coming here.
I
But these
mean,
people, go
like,
ahead.
I just want to say something. Like, this is just like a little like anecdote to like what you were saying. Like, Biden named where the borders are, and also like with I think you mentioned the legislation that Trump didn't want to pass or something, right?
Right.
So we don't need legislation. We just need an executive order.
Mm-hmm.
Like if why do we need to pass a legislation when we can have an executive order? Like that would bypass Trump, quote unquote, not giving them credit to the Biden Harris administration if they truly wanted to. They had ulterior motives. They wanted to pass the border bill as the border bill. Same with the infrastructure bill. The infrastructure bill was the infrastructure, did have things, but from what I heard from the transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg, they only made 8 charging stations for electric vehicles. I remember I saw an interview that he had on the media. I also saw that with what was I talking about? The thing before yeah, with the border. They sneak little passages in there to make Republicans look bad because they pass like for example, I'm not saying this is exactly in this case, all right? But like they pass like DI initiatives or which I'm not saying like I'm not gonna disagree or I'm not gonna present my opinion on that currently, but they pass like little things that of course Republicans will veto it. You know what I mean? They're
So,
partisan issues. I feel like if
right.
they really cared about the border, why don't you just pass an executive order? Like it's like all they needed was to be like, okay, we're closing the border. We're gonna do this. Like we don't need to pass it through Congress. Congress is the slowest way to possibly do it.
But wasn't it the House that said we're not passing that bill?
Of course, they wouldn't pass the bill
It was
'cause
Mike Johnson, because they were going to do it, and at the last minute, Donald Trump told him not to do it, and he did not do it.
because there's like
You-
ulterior motives behind the bill.
Why you
Like
think
it's
that?
not
So you don't think that Donald Trump has ulterior motives?
in what fashion?
You don't think what?
In what fashion are you talking about in
So
this
so
specific
so for
instance?
him to so for him to come out and say, you know what, don't pass the bill, don't pass it.
Well,
That's
it
his
wasn't
ulterior
exactly
motive.
the timeline that you presented to be. I feel like it was like
I
because
understand what you're saying, Omar, because they could. What you're saying is they could have did something sooner
exactly,
than
and
later.
if coming from like
But it's a lot that goes
I'm coming
into
as
what
like
they were trying.
independent over here. Like,
But it's a lot what they're trying to do. They try to put more in the bill. It was a whole package deal.
yeah,
What I
of
understand.
course Republicans are gonna veto it. Like even without Trump saying anything, they already didn't have the votes.
But they had the votes. They were going to do it, and it was from a conservative Republican, a conservative who came up with it, and they said, "Let's pass it," because we understand what people are going through. I understand what you're saying, Omar. I know what Texas is like, and I try to explain that to my husband. I understand what it's like in Texas. Okay, so I get your
And like, well, have you
frustration.
heard about yeah, like and also like if there wasn't like if they knew that they weren't gonna let's say they vetoed it in the Senate or let's say what we're both flawed in our perception of how they passed or who introduced it. Like I'm just assuming the Senate rejects it. Okay, blame it on the Republicans, whatever. Trump said it. Wouldn't it look better for the Harris administration if they really, really wanted to be like, well, Trump told them not to, but we did it because we passed an executive order.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't see that part. I don't understand, to be honest with you.
Exactly, because they
We
don't
understand,
care about opening the border,
but
closing the border.
but no, but Trump doesn't either. Trust me,
But
he does
under like
not.
you see the border crossing like graphics and everything.
I
I've like
I
looked at
know.
this and you see a massive spike. You see the pictures. You see everything. Harris didn't go to the border until the late campaign last like a few weeks ago.
But y'all act like, but you, here's my thing. Here's my issue with the whole borders stuff is everyone acts like, and the numbers have gone down, by the way, from my understanding, the numbers have gone down.
Yeah, because
But
they passed this initiative where they basically said, "Oh, we're making the crossings from, let's say, 5,000 a day." And I think it was now they're being generous and only letting 2,000 cross a day now. That's basically artificially lowering the entrance point. They want to make the illusion that they're making the things go down, but they're truly not. I read it on an article. I don't have it on the top of my head, but I read it that they made restrictions to make it look down. So on the statistics, it's lower, but in true reality, it is a complete chaos. One of my family members went to San Diego. They said that they're like literally over there. They don't like, it's crazy how bad it is. And you realize like you can realize this. They're buying the votes in the future. Like in the
Who's buying
future,
what votes? From
listen to
where?
me. Listen. Wait. All right.
What they buying votes from?
Let's say Kamala wins. All right. Let's put this present this situation.
Okay.
She says we're going to legalize all the new people that came over through the border. All right.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying we're going to legalize them. They gave them phones. They gave them housing in New York City apartments. They gave them everything, things that citizens could only dream of. Citizens even squander right now. We are literally like everything is like I see my family. I see them struggling. Like you see all this. Who do you think these immigrants are going to vote for?
They're gonna vote for Republicans. I'm gonna tell you why. So
No,
when
they're
they
not.
yes,
They're
they
not
are.
because Republicans don't like immigration.
Omar, chill for a minute. Let me educate you on something. Most people that come here from different countries, Pakistan, Hispanics, Latinos normally vote Republican. That's the fact. And they vote that because they don't believe in abortion. They're very
They're
spiritual.
traditional.
They're very, very traditional. Exactly. So they tend to vote Republican.
Well,
hold on.
I think that's a little bit of
Indians, when people come from Pakistan and India, they come over here and they get an education, they vote Republican. I know too many of them that vote Republican, sweetie. My husband works with a lot of them and they vote Republican. And normally, Mel and I had this same conversation a couple of years ago. People want to be where the leader is. They're going to vote for the people they're going to want to side with the people that's in power. They're not going to sit up here and go, oh yeah, those Democrats, I got to be a Democrat. No, they're not doing that. They're always going to vote for whomever that they see may be the strongest, whatever the case, because of religion, because of their values, because of their traditions.
I would also add too. Yeah, I was going to say we did have a conversation. Also, I would add because I was watching different things. People vote for power because also not all. Some people come to this country because they have major struggles in their own societies and communities with corruption and other unsafe things going on. So when they come here, they want to gravitate towards the power, even though it may not always be humane. Because some people come here who are, immigrants of different colors or whatever. God bless them, and I love everybody. You would think they would vote for humane things, not for just moral and not for just traditional things or just for power-related goals. They would vote for just humanity because they came from what they said an inhumane society. So you would think that in this country you will want human rights to be on the forefront, but the immigrants, the people I've talked to, human rights is not on the top of their list. And that is the most of the things when it comes to the Democratic Party about a woman's right to choose, a woman's health, about you listen, whether you are an immigrant, whether you're Latino, Black, brown, nobody should be able to go out their door, just get icy and get blown away just because they don't speak the language or there's some confusion. There's a lot of things going on. Also, I don't believe that most of these problems, and I'd love that Omar is up here actually, because some of the things that he's talking about, I was going to ask him before I drop down, Miss Sunny, is that one thing I would ask him because he's so entrenched in that, and I love this conversation. I've always been so excited to ask somebody about the 22nd Amendment. Because as a voter, my concern is that listen, at the end of the day, I'm open to all different kind of conversations as we have tonight. I don't want any man or woman to get into the White House and say, I want to change the 22nd Amendment. I want to be able to here for not only for 4 years, 8 years, 16 years, 20 years. I want to run this country like the way it's being ran in Russia. I don't want to leave here. I want to sit up here until I die. What do a voter who supports Trump believe in that? Do they love Trump so much that they want him to be in office for 20 years? I would love to hear Omar's perspective on the 22nd Amendment.
Wait, can I respond to what she said about what is it? My voice is a little weird because I'm a little sick, but
Well, hold on, Omar. Let
for
me answer
the
Dr. Email Sheffrin real quick. Because, Doctor, I was speaking about Black men not voting for Kamala Harris. And so we were going to talk about we were going to talk about that. And I was going to talk about how she's trying to, get the Black male vote. And that's why it probably came up in your feed. Go ahead, Omar. I'm sorry.
all right. So what you said about Hispanic people mostly voting for traditionally for Republicans. Well, let's see. Let me pull up the statistics. Well, I saw a poll. I can pull up statistics later. Most like Latino people vote for Democrats. Like it's been like a thing. Like it used to be more like 70-30 or well, in various ethnic groups, it's quite different. Like Cubans usually, Democrats spell like communism or socialism to them, mostly trend conservative, especially in Florida. That's what made the state extremely turn right from being a bellwether purple state to being a more traditionally conservative state. Mexicans, I feel like what Republicans alienated Mexicans due to their harsh, especially in California, passing the laws against being strict on immigration and you know ID everywhere, and they basically alienated them. But in the 90s and um, basically criminalized them, making them trend more blue, especially in that state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, there's various ethnic groups, but I'm going to say that traditionally, even though they're very conservative on that factor, they still vote liberal or like Democrat due to the Democrats always promising this like false, well not false, but like this sense of oh we're fix your papers, and it's also like some Republicans have done it. Bush did it too, but like they say oh we're gonna fix your papers, we're gonna give you this. That's the same thing with I live in a very diverse county, like on the suburb of Texas. Like Indians aren't really they can be conservative, but they can also be very liberal. Like
They can be.
it's
That's true. But a lot of them are very
they're
conservative.
not there's this new like traditionally in their home country, yes, they're traditional, but when their offspring come here, they often get assimilated into this American culture that is like traditionally very liberal and like different aspects compared to there, and they get assimilated and they become either left or right. Well, there's also a new trend um with Gen Z where the men are becoming extremely right and the women are becoming extremely left. So we also have
Right.
to put that factor into that.
That's
But
true.
I'm going to say like being from a Hispanic background, like my family in Maryland, I just came back from there. They are extremely disillusioned with Biden and Kamala. Extremely disillusioned. We went from being a family that would usually traditionally like pretty large family traditionally vote blue to being straight up like flipped to red. And it's like a phenomenon happening across.
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm 18.
18. Okay. So this is your first time voting.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote.
Okay. I hope you vote. I mean, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I hope you vote.
Yeah,
Um, so I understand what you're saying. I remember when look, I remember when I was 18 and I probably had the same kind of, you know, thoughts that you have on immigration. Because, like I said, I grew up in Texas, and I was like, God dang, like because I grew up in the Reagan time, and
oh,
Reagan
that's
was
good.
doing the same thing, pushing those same ideologies.
Reagan was
So
more moderate though. Like both parties were very moderate.
Reagan was a beast. We can sit here
Yeah,
and I could tell you about Reagan, and you can go watch Reagan. You can do whatever you want to, but I'm gonna tell you how Reagan destroyed the black family. Okay, and a lot of people love Reagan because they think he was the greatest. He's more
I mean I
moderate
know
than
there's the
Donald
Iran
Trump,
Contra affair, and I know,
but right. So he allowed crack
and then the crack
raise
epidemic. But I
families,
feel
and
like
it
that's also the
destroyed
CIA.
black families more than anybody.
That's also
So
the
anyway,
CIA.
but he allowed it. He had a lot. He had his hands in it. But it's his administration. So um anyway, I say all that because I probably felt the same way you felt, like you feel right now. I don't think it's fair. I said I think people should be able to come over here. If they come here, they ought to have papers and blah 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 blah. But then you don't understand how people suffer, right? I don't know if are you
I'm
first
first gen.
generation? Are you first generation
I'm
Hispanic?
first generation. I know what it is.
So your parents came over here legally.
Yes.
Okay. So what Donald Trump is doing right now, I have a friend who came, she was brought over here by her mother. And her mother had papers, but she didn't have papers. She had to recently go get papers. She's been
Yeah, because you
here.
have to go back,
Yes, she had to go back. She's been here
which is very
like
unfair.
30 something years old. I
Yeah.
said the same thing. That's unfair because you've been in this country. You've been
Yeah, you were born
working in
here.
this country. You've been giving back to this country. You shouldn't have to go back. She had to go back
Yeah,
to,
because that's their form of penalizing you. I don't care if, yeah,
but she's here, but she's
I,
back here because she got married.
yeah,
So
with
what I'm
immigration,
saying
I'm
to
very
you,
lenient
Omar,
on that aspect.
huh?
I believe that the immigration system is broken in many ways because, like, well, you have this flood at the border, but at the same time, there's very good, hardworking people that have families here. Like, it's so unfair to, like, your family, like, let's say, like, a person is like, oh, I have a 4-year-old child, drop them over there in Mexico for 10 years. They're 14 now, they never grew a father. They could, for all they know, they might be in a hard neighborhood and they could become, they have a dysfunctional family.
Say that
See what
again.
I mean? Like, if they have a dysfunctional family, if without the traditional, well, I'm traditional, but like the traditional mother and father, like, um, you need them both for mother. It's like the yin and the yang. Like, without your father, like, let's say your father's gone for 10 years, then you're missing a core component, and you may fall to like terrible influences. So there's multiple factors. I think that immigration is broken. I think that it needs to be completely revamped. Like, but at the
I
same time, I don't think that either party does any good.
I totally agree with you.
And
That's
that's
why
what
I
you know
said
what, and now I have to jump down, and yeah, and this is a great conversation that I have to leave, unfortunately. But you know what, I'm glad, Omar, that you came up here. Um, and I probably listen to the replay to see if you answer the question about the 22nd Amendment because I really
All
do.
right, all right, I'll
I'm
answer.
very well. I'm very interested in hearing from people like yourself. Again, you see the thing is too, Omar. What I'll say is, at the end of the day, what we're doing tonight is what I wish that most of the country would do. Basically, you come up and you have a different of opinion. You're not trying to take people down. I'm not. None of us up here trying to convince you to vote whatever you want. It's really good to have a conversation. But I'm genuinely, I'm very curious about people who have these beliefs or basically have these concerns, and I'm hearing a lot of concerns that you have. And I just, for me, I'm older than you, and I would get very bored that the idea of having one person that dictates for, decade. I mean, that just is not what, that's not what I want. I don't want that. I believe America is
Well, yeah,
wonderful when,
there should only be 2 terms, term limits for everybody. I believe that age
yeah, I
limits,
believe,
term limits
yeah, I believe for
for,
me that America works better when you have a mixture of even if I'm not voting for the other side, but listen, let the Republicans come in that is not, what's his name, Donald Trump. Let the people come in and let them have different things. 4 years we have this, 4 years we have that. That's the way I like America. It goes that way. But right now, it feels like the way the Supreme Court is, the way if God forbid this election does what we're going to have one America for the foreseeable future, and that's not American to me. Not to
right.
have
you
just to
think
have
that
it.
Trump's gonna take over for like forever?
Well, I mean, as
Yes.
long as he's alive. I mean, I think that most of his people.
I understand that. Oh, what, are you done or?
No, I just want to say most of the messaging that he's put out and some of his secret, not secret, most of his private rallies or the footage that's been leaked out has been no more worries. We got this. It's going to be displayed for this amount of time. I want to get rid of the 22nd Amendment. We saw exactly what he felt about with that insurrection. So when he gets in there talking to his friend from Russia, who's been in over there for 20 years, he wants to do the same thing here. And so I think that for me, I understand the concerns of the people who want to vote for Trump. I really do. I don't agree with that. But I think that they have a blind spot. Some Trump voters had a blind spot where, I think that even they might get tired of him after 5 years. Like, oh, I don't know if I want to be with this man for another, 15 years. And he wants to be there, for a long time. So that's the danger for me. I'd rather have Kamala Harris this time, and then maybe we have a
Oh
different
my God.
conversation. Well, maybe we have a different conversation in 4 years with somebody else who's coming to the table who believes in the rule of the government, who believes in what we've had there for all these years. Come in there. Let's not just sit there stagnant for all these years and just no. I don't want that. I don't want any.
Well,
Excuse me. I
I
would say this too.
completely
I'll
agree.
say this
No,
lastly. I'll say
no
this lastly.
president should
I'll
be.
say this lastly. I also don't even want that in the Democratic side. I should say that. I wouldn't want any Democrat to be in the office and as a president for 20, 30 years. That frightens me. That would
Right.
frighten me. So
You're right.
that's not what I want. But anyway, but this is
Only
yeah.
I believe. Well, no president should be over 2 terms. I really, really don't think, personally, that he would go on to serve. Maybe he could get one of his maybe one of the his sons, or I wouldn't think he would get, but I feel like he's gonna pass the torch to Vance, in my opinion, for 28. I personally do not think that. I feel like his rhetoric when he talks about changing the course of this country, he wants to turn it around, but I do not think that he's going to hold on to power. It's just because I watch his rallies, right? Like I've gone more right wing. I don't see any rhetoric that shows that he's going to hold on for more than 4 years. Well, I know you could make the counterclaim, oh, January 6th, you tried to overthrow the government and stuff, and well, my personal opinion, what I've read, the media portrays it as being Trump said, take over the government. He literally said, and I've read the transcript. He's go out to the Capitol, march peacefully, do this. The supporters who did that are completely in the wrong, but I feel like he didn't directly cause it. Well, he did challenge the election result. 2020 was a very strange year, and I will say that. The mail-in voting was new, the things was new, but I don't think he's gonna try to hold on to power. Well, and then regarding your this 22nd Amendment, I think that we don't need just presidential term limits. We need straight up Senate. We need term limits, not just every 2 years you get elected. No, age limit on your house, age limit on how many times you can run. We need new leaders, new innovative people with new bright ideas. We don't need the same establishment people backed by the same special interests.
Now that I agree with, and with the Supreme Court too. But I was going to say the one thing I was going to say when it comes, you see, the thing that happened with Joe Biden recently. Now I mean, Omar, I bet you agree with me. If Donald Trump was in the position that Joe Biden was just recently, where people were like, you can't run, you can't do your thing, you can't. I believe Donald Trump would have said, oh no, I'm going to actually do this. I feel like the way I grew up, the rule of government was that you did what was best for the party and what was best for America. It never was in your imagination to go against the people who were your advisors, your supporters. And I think that for me, the fear that I have about the idea of him being there for more than 4 years, 8 years, is that for me, my perception is that he makes the rules up as he goes. If he feels uncomfortable about something or he feels very passionate about something, he'll go out there and say, they're against me. And I need to do this because I need to save this country. You got to be out here to do this for me. Even when it came to the January 6th thing, he was also talking about, I don't know if this conspiracy, they're against me. We can't have leaders in that position. Play hard, just like a football game. Play as hard as you can. But when the results come in, don't cry like a baby. Leave the field with dignity. Joe Biden just showed that he didn't have to do what he did, but he could have just lost the race. He could have went down and said, this is what I want to do. But he went away. Most presidents other than Trump have done the same thing.
You mean when he dropped out?
Excuse me, say it again.
When he dropped out?
When he dropped out, yeah. Most presidents.
I feel wait, can I say something about when he dropped out? So when he dropped out, I feel like he could have held a press conference. He could have had, an official. He literally just released a Twitter. And what makes me suspicious, because I'm generally suspicious of governments, why didn't he do a press conference? I feel like they forced him out. I feel like it was a soft coup against him. They knew how bad he had done. They made the debate so early in the running because they knew he was incompetent. They knew how senile he was, and they knew that they had brought. He's not sharp. I saw him in the summits. I saw him during the debate. we could all get it. Well, somebody can have a bad night, right? Trump can have a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can have a bad night, right? I feel that they pushed him out, and that now, like, you know how he had a press conference the other day and he said, "Oh, Kamala and I have been very close with doing XYZ. She has literally orchestrated." I feel like personally, if Kamala's campaign wants to distance himself, he's trying to basically he's still angry at the fact that they forced him out and wants to smear it on her and like wants to like slightly attach these like labels on her, like slightly sabotage. That's how I believe is what's happening right now.
Well,
Because
that's politics. I believe that's the part of. I see. The thing is, Omar, I feel you with that. Like the
I
thing
do
is,
too.
these people are not priests, and I should hate to say the word priest because what the, God knows there's controversy with these people, but they are not saints. They are not our loving parents. They are these sort of political monsters. They go out there and do what they do. But even that being said, even in the Democratic Party, where people are playing games, obviously at the high level, they still know how to, even if he was pushed out, as you say, in a soft coup, that would have never happened to Donald Trump. He would be like, oh no, we got to leave all the people. Give me somebody from McDonald's to come in this cabinet, and it just would have been, there's a you got to be civilized, Omar. I believe you have to be civilized to be a civil servant. In my opinion, you have to be. You have to know the rules of the game. A lot of stuff you can't just go on Twitter and just rant about things. I don't believe that what he does government just on that level is good. I'm not opposed to Republicans. I'm not a Republican, but I like to have a conversation I'm having with you. I like those conversations, but we got to know the rules of the game. You can't go up there and just say, well, I don't like this. I'm going to throw a tantrum and then blame everybody and throw fake news until you put lice on your lungs. I don't want that anymore. I want a Republican to come to the table because, as I said, I don't want Democrats to just take over everything for 30 years. But I think that right now we need them because it's the only thing we have, in my opinion.
we
But
we
I
won't
just
have
don't.
anything if they keep on like I
Well,
think
I just
this
think that, but I think that the concerns you have. This is what I've told people, and I'm gonna drop down. I think the
because
concerns that
they've had 4 years to do anything. Kamala's been in power for like
no,
I
but
know they said
I disagree. I think that we've had 4 years to repair the damages that was done. The simple fact is, in my lifetime, I've never had to hide in my home because I was afraid that I was going to pass away. And we seem to forget that we were in a state of emergency that we had just gotten out of a couple of years ago. We can't just sort of wash under the rug. It was major, major, major. So I mean, I think they did the best they could, and I think that if we would have had Trump, it would have been more unalive people. So the fact is, on April 2020, he was joking at a press conference that he didn't understand correctly, that he thought that jokingly saying that Lysol would be appropriate to put in somebody's lungs. At that time, we didn't have as many deaths. In September 2020, we had over 600,000 people gone. This was before the election that we had where Biden had won, had became president. I don't want a president like that again. I don't know what's coming down, Omar, in this world. I'm not a psychic. I don't know. I'm not sure what's coming out the cliffs or in global warming. But I want somebody who is sane to be in office to guide me. I don't want my grandmother. I don't want my family or anybody who have health conditions to be afraid that something's going to come up, that somebody's going to tell you jokingly to do something that's no, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that. I feel like that's what I'm talking about now. The concerns that people have about abortion, or excuse me, about that part, or about trans rights or gay rights, all these things, put them on the table in 4 years. I'm not saying that just to wash them under the rug. We still need to have conversations, but I can't have a conversation with a person who I consider a national terrorist. Now, Miss Sunday, I'm going to drop down. But Omar, it was wonderful to talk to you. Have a good night, everybody, and
good night.
be well.
Thank you, Mel. So I'm glad you came up here, Omar. I mean, we agree on some things,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But
It's good to see the other side. Well, usually the polarization has gotten very bad to the point that nobody wants to have civilized discussions. It's all yelling on both sides. Like I feel like if I went like with a MAGA hat to like the middle of downtown Houston and somebody's going to heckle me, somebody's gonna hit me. It's like if I go down with a Harris like thing in a rural area like Brenham, well, I'm also gonna get in trouble or not heckled, but probably like questioned. I feel like there's a narrative being pushed. They want us divided, and
Right.
well, I just believe that we need to
But that's
the
from
party.
both sides too. And I
Yes,
understand
both sides.
both sides when they
I
want to
I feel
divide.
like both, because I'm interested in politics. I've always been interested in politics, and it's something I've seen growing up that, like, I think that this is I feel like there's, like, even on both parties, they want the polarization to get bad to the point that they want us to go against each other and,
Mhm.
like, fragment America. They wanna destroy us from within. We can't get destroyed from outside, but we can get destroyed from within, and that's, like, something that is deeply troubling on both sides.
But when you listen to Trump's rallies and he talks about how this country is so, it's just so in dire straits, and this country is bad off, and
Well,
they're letting all these nasty people come into this country, and we want to make America great again. America is great. That's why all these people want to come to this country. America is
America
great.
America
You
is a
have
great country.
Let me
I
say this.
agree
When you
with
have
that fact.
someone like Donald Trump that keeps pushing this racist rhetoric, right? And that's dividing the people. I remember when they kept saying Obama is the reason why people are divided. Obama wasn't the reason. It was the racist people that felt like, oh God, there's this black man that's president of the United States. That's a problem. Now I'm talking to an 18-year-old Omar. Omar, I'm 53 years old. And I
Oh,
have
you look
witnessed,
younger.
thank you. I have witnessed a lot. I have heard a lot, and I have read a lot when it comes to when I deals with racism in this country. Like I said, I'm from Texas, so I already know back in the day. Trust me, what you have right now is nowhere near what it was when I was growing up and had to deal with racism. Okay, so hearing the stories of my father and hearing the stories of my grandfather and my grandmother and all that, having to walk through back doors, only drink from colored folks' fountains, right? So
Uh-huh.
I understand that. And what I don't want this country to go back to is that. You don't understand that because you never had to live through it, right? So what they're
I mean,
doing,
with
they get rid
I
of
mean, I
that
go
in
to
the history books as if it never happened. That's the problem. It happened. My father lived through it. My mother lived through it. I've been called the N word several times in Texas. Okay. Even by people's children. Oh, look at that N word. Because that's how racist I know Texas is. So I've experienced that myself. And like I said, my parents have experienced, and I understand it. I understand what you're saying as well, but I don't need it to happen. I wouldn't want it to happen to you. I wouldn't want it to happen to your parents or anybody to have to deal with the racism. It doesn't feel good, right? So when
I
Donald Trump
feel, well,
stands
with
there,
racism,
that's
frankly,
racism when he stands there and says these people are coming from these shithole countries and they're bringing diseases and
I mean,
their genetic makeup is
when
this and that. That's
I feel like when
that's
you
racism.
I feel like, though, like, the people that come from our countries, yeah, they wanna come, but, like, when they come in massive droves, you realize that they don't have the things we have where if we have, like, all these vaccines, like, for like, we eradicated, I think, smallpox, right?
So you really believe deep in your heart they're gonna let people come over here and not be vaccinated? You believe that they're crossing those borders and they're coming into this country and they're not getting vaccinated? You
Not that
believe that?
they aren't getting vaccinated, that they're just overwhelming the border in such large numbers that they're bringing other things that are not common to these parts. Like if people that have malaria, let's say, like, come from, like, Africa, or, like, people from have dengue from, like, Mexico come through, wouldn't you assume that if they're coming through the border, it's gonna spread? It's not
So what?
inherently
So what do
racist.
when people come from Russia and they come from Czechoslovakia and when
Well,
they
they're gonna
come
bring their own
from
stuff, but it's
they
more
bring their own
controlled.
stuff,
But it's more
right? It's
controlled,
okay
though.
if they come over here because they look what? Because they're
It's not
Caucasian.
it's not the color. They're not gonna
It
be
is the
going
color.
through because
But
they
for
live
Donald
already
Trump,
in Western countries.
but for Donald Trump, it is the color because when he talks about, because guess who else is coming here? People are coming from Romania. They're coming from Albania. They're coming from
Yeah, those are the Balkan areas, though. That's
Russia.
different.
They're coming from, but they are. You got people that from Italy that live here that living under fake social security numbers too. So everybody comes here. Don't just think they're coming from all these other countries because they're coming from Europe
Well, I
as
know
well.
they are. They're
They're
coming
coming here.
from
So
China
that's
too.
what I'm saying to you, but he never talks about all those people. He's always talking about the people of color coming here and bringing diseases and raping and killing. And when people come here, they commit the least crime out of anybody that come because they don't want to be caught. You may get 1 out of 1,000 that may commit a crime, Omar. It's not true. The stats are there. They don't want to be caught. They want to come in here. They want to be undercover. They want to go over there and do what they have to do.
What?
He's
Look,
so concerned because I know the drug cartel is here. The drug cartel ain't going nowhere. You know why? Because the government feeds the drug cartel.
yeah, I agree with
Right?
that.
Just the same way they did when it was
Right.
back in the day with the cocaine. The government was
I'm gonna
allowing
say,
them to come here and do that.
talking about it's not the like the illegals. What angers me is how they let them go. Like a person rapes a woman or kills a woman or illegal rapes this. Why don't they give them the treatment that they give a citizen? Why do they get released back into the country? These are usually in blue counties. Like
So
we have, like, look, like there's
David
like
can leave if it can be 11 people here. You can leave, David. What'd you say?
So we have like the issue of the tenant. There was this woman in Tennessee that got murdered while running. All right. There's like all these instances like the Lake and Riley thing. There's like the people like the runners getting killed by illegal. There's like these like things so-called migrant crime, right? And I'm just saying what they call them, right? The thing is, what angers me isn't that they're illegal. Everybody does crimes, but the fact that they just let them go. Why are they letting them go? Why? And these are in blue counties, all right? So it's not racist to lock somebody up.
No, it's not.
It's
I
not.
believe it. I believe in locking people up. I do. What
If
happened was
why don't you?
the
Why don't they?
Lincoln
The
Riley
thing is,
girl.
are like if a white person commits a crime, if a black person commits a crime, lock them up. But the thing is, they let them go. They make them to the point that now they're above the law in those areas.
But Donald Trump is above the law. They let him go. And he's running for president. And he's a rapist.
Look, with the whole, I think that
34 felonies.
this is a whole like another. This is a whole other thing that I would gladly talk to if I had more time, but like it's getting quite late.
I hope you come back. I hope you come. Hey, Kat, I hope you come back. I
Yeah.
hope you subscribe to the channel. Come back. I'll drop the link for you anytime. If you want to be part of a panel, you can be part of one of the panels that I have, and you can come. I've been looking for a decent person that has different views than I do when it comes to stuff like this, and we can have a discussion, and you can to your wits end, honey.
Yeah, you thought I was a troll, huh?
At first, yeah, because I was like, what is going on with all these people? Because I normally don't have this many people in my chat. The reason being, I used to have that many people that I stopped for a whole year and I came back. And I just basically give out information as what's going on. And this is a very close-knit group of people here, like Blue Labels and Kat and Mel that you just spoke to. And I have other people that come in, but we're very close. Then we just sit here and have discussions. And I just try to educate people on voting and how important it is to vote.
Yeah,
And,
like
I just
vote.
give them back. That's it.
Look, the people. I feel like people cannot stress like, well, especially in 2022 when the red wave didn't happen. It didn't. People get complacent. People get complacent. They think they're gonna win. Like do not get lost in the illusion that my vote doesn't count. If many people have that illusion, nobody's gonna vote. Nobody's gonna win. Everybody needs to go out and vote. That's what I think. But yeah.
Yeah, everybody needs to get out and vote. And that's the only way. But we don't need someone telling us that if I get elected, you won't have to worry about it anymore. That's a problem.
I think when he meant that, he's just like,
I don't need to know. You can't tell me what he meant.
Like, look, it's just an interpretation because like when you're on another side, it's like when somebody tells you, it's like It's like, look, it's like in 4 years you won't have to vote for me any because like we're gonna fix the issue. But anyway, yeah, that's
We're
the
going to fix it. And according to Project 2025, that he's 312 times mentioned in, or 314 times mentioned in. Yeah, that's part of it. He does want to get rid of the 22nd Amendment. What's his name was over here saying that he was going to not do that, but he did. He wants to get rid of the Constitution.
Why didn't he
Like,
do that the first time then?
because the first time it wasn't planned out for him, because he didn't know he was going to win the first time. Oh boy, that's the thing with Donald Trump. He didn't know he was going to win, and so but he thought he was going to win a second term. And if he would have won that second term, he would have implemented that, because that's part of Project 2025. Project 2025 is not new. The Heritage Foundation have been working on.
I know
it
about
since
the Heritage
80s.
Foundation.
Right. So they've
I
been
know
doing
that he has
Project
top. I know that he
2025
met the person. I know that he
since
has got the cabinet positions. Right. I'm very well aware of that.
Okay.
But I don't.
But why would you vote for somebody that wants to come in and take over the federal government and implement their own agenda?
I feel
Which
like it
will
was like.
hinder you. Do you look like a Hispanic, Omar?
Do I look like an Hispanic?
Do you look Hispanic?
Yeah. I can turn on the video real quick.
You don't have to. You don't have to turn on your video. I
Let
just
me
asked. You
see.
don't have to turn it on. But if you look Hispanic, that's why. Okay, you're fair skinned though.
Yeah, kind of. Well,
But yeah, you look Hispanic.
yeah.
So, but I say to you, you have to think. I think like that. So for me, the way I process Donald Trump is, he sees me one way. He sees me grouped in with people that these people over here should not be able to have what I have. This is why he attacks Obama all the time. He attacks Obama because he's so jealous of Obama, and because he couldn't believe that black man, and this is his own words, he couldn't believe that he was at this level. I remember hearing Donald Trump say about Obama when Obama was walking to the plane, the president's plane, Air Force One. Is that what it's called? I think so. And he said, "Look at him
Hello?
strutting across like he's some type of hood walking around. Look at him like a thug walking to the plane. He's not presidential enough." That was his words.
Yeah.
Because to him, even when he
The
said
video
black,
skipped.
huh?
The video kind of skipped. I think my computer's like at like 2%. So.
Oh, okay.
Well. Yeah. So.
So
I think we might have to cut it around here.
I know you will. I appreciate you coming up, Omar. Subscribe to my channel and please hit the notification. Even you can follow me on Tell the People with Sunny on IG, and you can message me there if you want to, and we can continue the conversation. Not tonight, but some other time, because I do.
I'm doing college jobs, so.
But just go ahead and you can do that, and I would love to have you back over here having a discussion.
What was the IG tag?
It's Tell the People with Sunny.
All right. I might follow.
Okay.
All right. Well, God bless, and
God bless you too.
I'll pull up sometime maybe.
Yeah,
once I'm open, and well, it was nice talking.
Nice talking to you too. Thank you for coming. Well, that was an interesting conversation. We went all the way left. I was talking about voting, black men voting. I guess I will get back on that maybe tomorrow or maybe the next day, because tomorrow I want to watch the interview that Kamala Harris is having on Fox. I think that'd be interesting to watch. But anyhow, Blue Labels, I love you for coming over here, holding it down. And Kat, thank you for being here. And David, I think your name is, I don't know how to say your name. DLL Avid. Okay. He said he's already convicted. So he can't beat something he already been convicted of. So yeah, so this was a very interesting conversation. I'm glad that Omar came up. I'm glad Mel NYC came up to talk. But yeah, we'll tackle the whole black thing, I guess, black men voting another time. Today was different. You know, I hope you all, and I will, actually, I probably will come on Thursday to give you information about early voting. Or maybe I'll just do a video and put it up, but early voting and what you have to do, because the times and all that, all the information that you need. Who let the trolls out? I have no idea. Just because I think because I put Kamala and black men, it just went crazy. Because I came out, I was like, where all these people come from? So, so, you know, I like my little tight circle. I'm like Goody in that way now. I like my little tight circle of people where we come over here and we have discussions, you know, that ain't all trolled out. But you know, so you know, so I would gladly for you all to come back another time. I hope you sub to the channel. Please like what's going on, and we can have another discussion. Okay, Trump denounced it. Trump ain't denounced it because Trump is in it 314 times. David, it is what it is. It is what it is. And if he gets elected, you're gonna find out. It's gonna be elf around and find out. That's what it's going to be. Okay, because he's already implemented some of Project 2025 his first term. It's been that's how long they've been working on this. They've been working on that since the 80s, since Reagan, because they implemented some of it in the Reagan era. And it's 924 pages. You should go over there and read it instead of just listening to an old man that's losing his mind tell you that he has no part in it, when the man just introduced him a couple of days ago. Okay, just introduced him. The Heritage Foundation president introduced Trump just a couple of days ago. There's video of Trump saying, we're going to implement this agenda if I'm elected president. Okay, y'all over here. I don't want y'all to argue. What I do want y'all to do, though, is like the channel, subscribe, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And if you do so, I might come live more often. And so y'all can sit here and go in the chat. But till then, thank you, Kat. Thank you, David. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Blue Labels. Thank you, Doctor, to the doctor, and everybody else that came over to join us over here. And appreciate you all. And I will see you next time. And I will love on you guys later. Y'all have a nice night. God bless us all. Vote blue.